Chiefs at 6-2 starting the second half of the season, looking to continue their winning ways as they host Joe Flacco and the Ravens, who find themselves at 1-7 at the halfway point, but those records would not be indicative of how this game would play out today. Chiefs opening drive, Mahomes is going to fake to Kareem Hunt and then hit him out of the backfield, but then Hunt gets taken down hard out of bounds by Matthew Judon and be injured on the play. Then 2 plays later, his replacement Spencer Ware gets hit in the backfield and fumbles, and the Ravens recover and take over in Chiefs territory. However, on the very next play, Joe Flacco gives it right back as he has all day in the pocket to throw, 9 seconds to be exact. I promise you he's going to throw it eventually, and when he does, he opts to throw into quadruple coverage, and the veteran linebacker Derek Johnson picks it off and brings it back to the 50. First play after the turnover, Mahomes is going to find his favorite target, tight end Travis Kelce, over the middle for a pickup of 22 to the Ravens 28. Chiefs, however, would only come away with a field goal. 6-0 now after a Chiefs punt. Flacco with the play fake, and he's going to throw it into double coverage, but it's tight end Steve DeValve coming down with the catch for a gain of 24 yards. Next play, the give goes to Verlin Huval, who gets torpedoed by safety Russ Taplin-Ross. The ball comes out. Chiefs look prime for the scoop and score, but Baltimore maintains possession. Then Flacco drops back, and again with phenomenal protection before again finding Steve DeValve, this time for a gain of 26 yards. Then 2 plays later, it's the rookie Verlin Huval just getting to the edge and around the corner for the 9-yard score, and the Ravens take a 7-6 lead. First play of the next drive, Mahomes looks to throw, can't find anything, and is going to scramble and get past the first down marker and wants to slide, instead dives head first and fumbles, picked up by the Ravens, so another first quarter turnover for Kansas City. Then next play, it's Verlin Huval breaking the tackle, cutting inside and outrunning everyone to the end zone to take it 41 yards to the house, but there's going to be holding on Nico Siragusa, which is going to bring it back, so the Chiefs finally catch a break. But then on 4th down, Ravens punting it away, and Russ Taplin-Ross goes for the block but ends up destroying Ravens punter Sam Cook, roughing the kicker, and a Ravens first down. Chiefs defense unfazed, however, as on 3rd and 14, Flacco goes over the middle but doesn't see Reggie Ragland, who picks off the pass and is going to bring it back into Ravens territory, and the Chiefs, who had 2 interceptions all season coming into the game, now with 2 in the first half, Chiefs would get a field goal to make it 9-6. Ravens again on 3rd down. Flacco drops back to pass and finds Huval over the middle, who's going to pick up the first down but then be clocked by Eric Berry, forcing the fumble. Berry's going to scoop it up, and with nobody in his way, he's going to score from 34 yards out to push the Chiefs lead to 16-7. 5 minutes later, Ravens in Chiefs territory, but not for long, as Chris Jones gets into the backfield and throws Joe Flacco to the ground for the sack. He would also dislocate his hip on the play and could potentially miss the rest of the season. Ravens with the ball back, Joel Stave in the game now, but who needs him when you have rookie running back Verlin Huval, who runs over Terrence Mitchell and from 55 yards out is going to score his 2nd touchdown of the game, making the score 16-14. Chiefs looking to answer back before half. Mahomes fires it into Kelce for 14 yards and a first down. Then 4 plays later, 4th and inches from the 50, Chiefs decide to go for it, and it's Spencer Ware bowling his way forward to pick up the first down and keep the drive alive. Next play, Mahomes looks to throw and is going to find Albert Wilson over the middle for a pickup of 20 deep into Ravens territory to the 28-yard line, but the turnover bug strikes again, as on the next play, CJ Mosley with the backside pressure sacks him and forces the fumble. Ravens recover, keeping the halftime score at 16-14. Chiefs' first play of the second half, and it's Kareem Hunt returning to the game and making an immediate impact as he picks up 15 yards on the toss. But then on 3rd down, Mahomes tries to force it into Kelce over the middle. The ball's tipped and then picked off by Ravens linebacker Patrick Onwuasor. Ravens take over in Chiefs territory but would go backwards, and a kind of crazy decision here as John Harbaugh sends out Justin Tucker for the 61-yard field goal, but his decision would pay off as from the other side of the 50, Tucker nails it to give Baltimore the lead. Mahomes and the Chiefs looking to answer back as he's going to get good protection and then hit Demarcus Robinson over the middle for a gain of 22 into Ravens territory. 3 plays later on 3rd and 9, the Chiefs convert for the first time of the day as Mahomes hits Conley, who fights his way past the first down marker, but then on the next play, it's Patrick Onwuasor again picking off Mahomes for the Chiefs' 2nd turnover of the quarter and 5th of the game. But as they did all day, the Chiefs would immediately respond as Stave hits Steve DeValve, who gets blasted by Reggie Ragland, forcing the fumble. Chiefs recover but would come away with nothing. After the Chiefs punt, Stave drops back to pass, rolls to his right, makes a dangerous throw across his body, but it's to a wide open Steve DeValve, and the big tight end is going to rumble his way to an 80-yard touchdown, and the 1-7 Ravens giving the Chiefs all they can handle as they take the lead. But for every punch the Ravens threw, the Chiefs had a counter punch, as on the extra point, Chris Jones gets through the line to block the kick, and Charles Gaines is going to scoop it up and take it back for 2 points, so a 24-16 game turns into a 23-18 game. Chiefs ensuing drive, and Mahomes is going to find Albert Wilson on the post for 19 yards and a first down near midfield. 3 plays later, it's another conversion as Mahomes waits in the pocket and finds Travis Kelce late over the middle for 8 yards on 3rd and 6. Third quarter winding down, Mahomes looks to throw before escaping to his left, opts not to slide, holding onto the ball and picking up 11 and a first down. Then to start the fourth quarter, Chiefs keep it on the ground as Kareem Hunt takes it down inside the 10 right near the first down marker, and on 3rd and goal, Mahomes finds Travis Kelce over the middle in the end zone for the score. Kelce's 5th of the season as the Chiefs take the lead. The 2-point conversion would be no good. Score remains 24-23 Chiefs. Ravens go 3 and out, and on the first play after the punt, Mahomes throws a screen out to Albert Wilson, who picks up all of his blocks and takes it up the sideline for 59 yards, and the second Kansas City touchdown in the span of a minute. Chiefs now lead 31-23. Ravens looking to answer back. Stave with the play fake and puts one right on the money to Chris Moore for a gain of 34 yards into Chiefs territory. 2 plays later, Stave hits DeValve over the middle for a gain of 14 and another first down. But then on 3rd down, Stave with the play fake again, all day to throw, and Stave tries to force it into the end zone but ends up throwing it right to rookie Russ Taplin-Ross for his first career interception. Chiefs defense keeps the Ravens off the board. First play after the pick, Kareem Hunt's going to take it up the middle, find a seam, and be on his way to an 80-yard touchdown, but everything you're seeing never actually happened because Mitchell Schwartz was called for holding, which is going to bring it all the way back. Chiefs remain unfazed as on first down, Mahomes with the play fake before finding Travis Kelce for 26 yards and a first down to the 37. 3 plays later, it's Mahomes and the Chiefs converting again as he fits it into Chris Conley for a gain of 12. Then on 3rd down again, this time it's Demarcus Robinson with the catch over the middle, and he just barely picks up the first. But then on 3rd down again, the one thing the Chiefs absolutely didn't need, as Mahomes is sacked by Brandon Williams, pushing them out of field goal range, forcing a punt. Ravens looking to tie, and Stave is going to hit Mike Wallace on the slant for 12 yards to start the drive. Next play, Stave is going to find Brashad Perryman for 13 yards and a first down, taking us to the 2-minute warning. On 2nd down, Stave hits a diving Wallace for 6 yards, bringing up 3rd down. Ravens use their first timeout. Out of the timeout, it's Stave to Wallace again on the slant for 10 more yards. Ravens going no huddle, rushing to the line. Stave is going to take the snap, play fake, and the backup puts it right on the money to Mike Wallace for the 43-yard touchdown with 1:17 to go. Ravens need the 2-pointer for the tie, and Joel Stave looking more like Joe Montana as he fits it into Perryman. 2-point conversion is good, and we're tied at 31 apiece. Chiefs with a chance to win. Mahomes throws to Kareem Hunt, who makes the 9-yard catch off the deflection. Chiefs hurrying to the line on 3rd and inches, try to get sneaky, call a run up the middle, but Hunt is going to be stuffed at the line. Ravens call a timeout, hoping to give their offense a chance to win the game, but would they need it? Dustin Colquitt tries to punt it away, but it's blocked. Ravens CJ Mosley picks it up and takes it in for the score, and with 42 seconds to go, the Ravens take a 38-31 lead. Chiefs now need to go 71 yards in 38 seconds, and good start as Mahomes finds Demarcus Robinson over the middle for 17 yards on the first play. Chiefs call timeout. Out of the timeout, Mahomes again looks and finds Kareem Hunt, who makes the catch and picks up 13 and the first down and gets out of bounds to stop the clock. Next play, Mahomes with a rocket over the middle to Albert Wilson, who makes the catch and picks up 17 more. Chiefs use their second timeout. Out of that timeout, it's Mahomes again finding Wilson, this time on the crosser, who's going to take it to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, and to the 1, and out of bounds with 14 seconds on the clock. And then next play, it's Mahomes to Wilson for the 3rd consecutive play as he finds him in the back of the end zone for the touchdown, as the Chiefs go 71 yards in 28 seconds, and there would be no blocks this time as Butker nails the extra point, and we would be headed to overtime. Chiefs win the toss, and on their opening drive, faced with a 3rd down, Mahomes finds Kelce for the 11th time 8 8 yards and a Chiefs first down. Next play, Kareem Hunt with the give, cuts it back up the middle for a pickup of 10 and another Chiefs first down. And then on his 56th pass of the game, Mahomes with the play fake fires it deep for Chris Conley, who goes up and comes down with the 54-yard walk-off touchdown. And in one of the wildest games of the year, on a day where the 1-7 Ravens turn the ball over 6 times, lose their starting quarterback, and are still able to give the Chiefs all they can handle, they ultimately fall short and drop to 1-8. Kansas City extends their league-high winning streak to 7 and gains nearly 600 yards of total offense. They will move on to face one of their toughest tests of the season as they head to Pittsburgh to face the 6-3 Steelers next week. Alright guys, so we moved to 7-2 with the crazy win, but I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, I absolutely hated playing that game. There were certain parts of it that were fun, like I liked getting some interceptions for the first time all season, but overall, games like that are the kind of games that make me not want to play Madden at all. 11 combined turnovers, over 1,000 yards of offense, the blocked extra point, the blocked punt, the 61-yard field goal early in the third quarter. It just wasn't football, it's Madden ball, and I can't stand playing Madden ball. There's just something about those kind of games where even though I won and it was an exciting fashion, it just doesn't feel good, and it feels more like I wasted my time at the end of the game rather than had a good experience. And it was just one of those perfect storm kind of games where all of that stuff individually I can live with and tolerate, but when you get all of that in one game, it's just a miserable experience for me. But enough of being a downer. We're going to look at some of the scouting we did for this week. We took a look at a couple of the top ranked guys in left tackles Douglas Wharton and Jamarius Shaw, and then middle linebacker BJ Walford as well, just in case they happen to fall. And then we added a couple of receivers to the board as well with Taven Mays and Rashad Madis, who are mid to late round prospects who we might take a flyer on. During the Ravens game, Derek Johnson went down with an injury which turned out to be broken ribs, and he's going to be out for another 5 weeks, which puts his return around week 16. I thought about making a move and maybe putting him on IR, but being that he's going to be back and ready in time for the playoffs, and the fact that I still have 2 guys at middle linebacker, we're just going to stand pat for now. And for now, Ramik Wilson will be taking his place, and if he fails, then I also have Kevin Pierre-Louis who can fill in there as well. We also have an interesting decision to make on Tyreek Hill, who is available to return from injury this week. And looking at the attribute penalties, the only thing that really worries me is the injury. But looking at the schedule, we get the Steelers this week, which is a big game, and then the Raiders the following week. But after that, it's 2 huge games against the Chargers and Seattle, and I want to make sure I have Hill for that Chargers game, so we're going to stick to our guns and hopefully make it through Pittsburgh and Oakland without him. But if I was playing the Chargers this week, he'd definitely be playing. And then with that, it's time to go around the CFM, starting with scores from week 10, where the Rams slide continues as they fall to the Niners 10-7 on Thursday night. Vikings go to Detroit and pummel the Lions 31-10. Falcons beat the Browns. Washington hands Dallas a 42-28 loss. Dolphins upset the Packers 38-35. Patriots take down the Jets in a big AFC East game. Titans beat the Bengals. Bucks take down the Giants. Texans, Seahawks, and Chargers all beat division opponents. Then on Sunday night, the Saints keep pace with Atlanta taking down the Eagles at home, and on Monday night, the Bills take down the Raiders. So as we take a look at the Week 10 standings, the Bills were 4-1-1 and the Patriots were 1-4 in Week 6, but Tom Brady and the Pats haven't lost since and continue to close in on Buffalo. Our next opponent in Pittsburgh holds a 2-game lead in the AFC North. Jaguars lead the South, but only by a game over the Titans and Colts, and then the AFC West features the 2 best records in the AFC between the Chargers and us, the Chiefs. To the NFC, the Redskins move into a tie for the division lead with the Eagles. The Vikings and Bears now sit tied atop the North, both with 4-4-1 records, while the Lions and Packers sit behind at 4-5 each. The Falcons continue to lead the South at 8-1, while the Saints lead the wild card race at 7-2. And then the NFC West seems to belong to the Seattle Seahawks now, as they sit at 7-1-1, while the Rams and 49ers are both 5-4. And for the second consecutive week, a Chief is going to take home the AFC Offensive Player of the Week award. Last week it was Kareem Hunt, and this week it's going to be Pat Mahomes, as he throws for 484 yards and 4 touchdowns, including the game-tying score to Albert Wilson with 10 seconds left in regulation, and the 54-yard bomb to win the game in overtime to Chris Conley. Despite the 44 points allowed, Baltimore's CJ Mosley takes home the AFC Defensive Player of the Week award, amassing a ridiculous stat line of 15 tackles, 1 sack, 2 pass breakups, 1 forced fumble, 2 fumble recoveries, and Mosley also scored a touchdown on a blocked punt in their game at Arrowhead. To the NFC side, Carson Wentz threw for 451 yards and 4 touchdowns on 28 of 48 passing for the Eagles on Sunday night in New Orleans. Unfortunately, the big numbers weren't enough to help his Eagles take down Max Enderle and the Saints, as the Eagles fell 31-28 in the Big Easy. Defensively, it was Seahawk linebacker KJ Wright taking home the award with a fairly ordinary week. Wright accumulated 11 tackles, 9 of which were solo, as well as 2 sacks in Seattle's 24-21 win over the Cardinals to move to 7-1-1. Wright, a 4th-round pick out of Mississippi State, is in his 8th season and sits at an 82 overall. As we move to the league leaders, Aaron Rodgers continues to be the league's leading passer, but huge weeks by both Mahomes and Wentz have them closing in. Tom Brady sits not far behind with 2,668 yards, and rookie Max Enderle sits at 5th. As for touchdown passes, Matt Ryan leads the way with 24, while a 3-way tie at 2nd includes Aaron Rodgers, Max Enderle, and Tom Brady, while Blake Bortles looms in the shadows with his 20 touchdown passes at 5th. Le'Veon Bell had the week off and sees his league lead in rushing yards shrink from 110 yards last week to 88 yards this week, as Devontae Freeman takes the 2nd spot over Todd Gurley, who missed the Rams' Thursday night game due to injury. Ezekiel Elliott sits at 4th, while Kareem Hunt enters the picture at 5th. Chris Carson now has company atop the rushing touchdown leaderboard, as Falcons running back Devontae Freeman has tied him at 10. Le'Veon Bell, Mike Gillislee, and Alvin Kamara all tied for 2nd in the league with 9 rushing touchdowns. Davante Adams added 109 yards in the Packers' loss to Miami to extend his league lead in receiving yards. Demaryius Thomas moves to 2nd with 754 yards. Alshon Jeffrey enters the top 5 with 753, while Eric Decker is 4th, 8 yards ahead of Tyreek Hill, who falls to 5th as he continues to miss time due to injury. Week 10 sees a new touchdown leader in the reception category, as Julian Edelman takes the top spot from Josh Gordon, who sits at 2nd with 9. Davante Adams is 3rd with 8, and a couple of new faces to the top 5 this week are Jordan Reed and Quincy Enunwa, who both have 7 touchdown catches. To the defense, Justin Houston added another sack against the Ravens, giving him 17.5 on the season. Carl Lawson sits at 2nd with 13.5, while the Falcons feature a pair of defenders in the top 5 in Tack McKinley and Adrian Claiborne, and then rounding out the top 5 is the Browns' Myles Garrett. As for interceptions, Cam Chancellor tallied another pick this week against the Cardinals to put him in a tie for the league lead with Jason Barrett. The rest of the top 5 remains unchanged, as Jalen Ramsey, Adrian Amos, and Deion Jones are among many tied behind with 3. As we look forward to next week's action, the Thursday night game features the Bears traveling to Washington. Sunday's early games kick off with a slew of division games with the Browns, Bengals, Falcons, Bucks, Pats, Bills, and a huge AFC East game, and then Colts, Titans. We travel to Pittsburgh in a potential playoff preview. Detroit goes to Miami, Raiders at Texans, Jets at Packers, and all California battle between the Chargers and 49ers. Rams desperately need a win as they host Seattle after having lost to them earlier in the season. Broncos at Joel Stave and the Ravens, Cowboys at Giants, Vikings at Cardinals, and then the 2 primetime games this week featured the Saints going to Carolina to take on the Panthers on Sunday night, and then on Monday night the Eagles travel to Jacksonville to take on the Jags. That's going to do it for week 9 of our Chiefs CFM. However, join me for the next video as we face Ben Roethlisberger, Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, and the rest of the Pittsburgh Steelers as we look to go on the road and get the Chiefs' first win in Pittsburgh since 1986 and extend our winning streak to 8. It should be a good one, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, thanks for watching.